It is perhaps a stepping stone to more than a glorified truce. I think just having a glorified truce and an improvement in relations and a reduced risk of heightened conflict again in trade would be helpful. From what we know, based on reporting, that there are claims that China has promised to buy $200 billion of additional imports over the next 2 years. And there are reports that this breaks down into 80 billion of manufactured goods, 50 billion of energy, 32 billion of farm imports and services too. So that's what we've heard from the media, and it's also believed that China's pledged to change some of the IP protection, which is kind of in line with China's reform policies already, and on the other side, that the US will lower tariffs, but only on a very small part, 110 billion worth of imports from China, which have 15% tariffs imposed last September. So those tariffs will be halved, but senior US officials, Mnuchin yesterday was saying that the remaining portion of additional tariffs on Chinese imports, the other 250 billion, will not be lowered, certainly not initially.
I want to pick up on some of the phrasing used there, based on reporting, based on media accounts. Do you expect to see the details of this preliminary agreement announced today? And if we don't see the details, does that matter?
Well, I think we will see some details. I think we'll probably get some headline figures from the US. We'll get a description on some of these main areas. We already got a printout from the USDR a little while ago on expectations of this. But we probably won't see the details, for example, on what China is meant to be buying in very detailed areas of for example, energy or LNG or these kind of things. And it does matter. It matters in two ways. First of all, such sensitive information could affect prices in markets and businesses and so forth. And the second thing is that if there are promises within the agreement that have not been released, those promises might be diplomatically sensitive. They might also potentially constitute breaching WTO rules. For example, under the WTO, a country is not allowed to say, we're not going to import, let's say, soybeans from Brazil, and we're going to prefer to buy soybeans from the US. That is not consistent with global trade rules, which both countries have signed up to. So there would be that reason as well for keeping such clauses, if they exist, not public.
If the tariffs are kept in place, as Secretary Mnuchin alluded to yesterday, it doesn't seem like that will have a massive impact on consumer sentiment, because consumers won't feel any major difference in their pocket or their ability to spend on individual products. Is it therefore, from your perspective, all about business sentiment, about market sentiment, this deal?
Yeah, I think that is largely true on the US side. I think you could say on the Chinese side, consumer sentiment is affected by perceptions of trade risk in very broad terms, but also a slowing economy. And you could say, for example, in large purchase items such as the auto sector, at least one element for why auto sales were weak last year was related to consumer concern over the future. And just reducing that a little bit could help to support a stabilization of the auto market in China, and particularly on new energy vehicles, electric vehicles.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.